everybody. Welcome to the Yarn and You Girl podcast. I'm Janine, also known as Yarn and You Girl, and this is my podcast about knitting. And if you're new to the show, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you are maybe inspired by something. If you do like the podcast, make sure that you click on the like button or hit subscribe to the channel to find out what's going on when I post and what I'm doing. And if you're a returning viewer, you guys, thank you so much. You know how much I appreciate you guys. I love coming and sharing my little crafty corner with you all and being a part of this community and connecting. It's been so much fun, and this last year has been a real blast. So thank you so much for being here with me again. I am on the internet, and the places that you can find me, if you're looking for me, are Instagram mostly, which is I'm Yarn and You on Instagram. I'm also Yarn and You on Facebook and Twitter, but I'm hardly ever on Twitter, so that's really not the place that you want to look for me. I am on Ravelry as Yarn and You Girl. Ooh, excuse me. And the podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Yarn and You Girl podcast group, and you can find it under the groups tab. That is where I post show notes and host knit-alongs and do giveaways and the like. And let's see. Oh, there is a website as well, which is yarnandyou.com. I will also post the show notes there. I usually put a link in the description box underneath the video of where you can find that. And at the website, I sell yarn and project bags, and I have some patterns on there as well as some other crafting, knitting stuff. So be sure to go over there and check it out. Be sure to go over to the Yarn and You Girl podcast group on Ravelry as well. I don't know if I said my Ravelry handle name is Yarn and You Girl, so friend me on that. I would love it. And yeah, ask me questions, send me messages. I totally would love to hear from you guys. So if you have any questions about me, there is an Ask Me Anything thread on the Ravelry group page. So please feel free to hop on there and ask a question, or if you have a question about knitting that you think I might be able to answer for you, I will certainly try my best. Definitely go on over there. Or if you just want to know about what's going on with me or something that I'm interested in, go on over there as well. So I have lots to share with you, I feel like, today. Did I say it's May 31st? I did say that already, didn't I? I feel like I did. I've done a take like 4 or 5 different starts. And I have the yawns again this morning, guys. I'm really sorry. Ooh. I've done 4 or 5 different starts this morning. So, yeah, I can't remember if I said that in this start or I said it in another start. So, anyway, May 31st, Wednesday. Welcome. I am going to hop right into finished objects because I have a few today I'm very excited about. Usually I'm kind of, if you guys know me, I'm not the fastest knitter. I am constantly knitting something, but I do like to start a lot of projects and I don't always finish them. So having some finished objects today is pretty cool. And the first one is the shawl I'm wearing, and this is my newest shawl design. I'm still toying with names for it, so I haven't quite figured it out, and I'm still working out pattern details, but that is going to be the next pattern release after my socks, which should be releasing my Silfrena socks, you guys, should be releasing next week, I'm thinking. Let me get the socks and I'll show you guys real quick, in case you forget. These are my Silfrena socks. They're written for toe up or cuff down, and I threw a heel in the pattern, but what I used in mine were the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I really like. I did put a heel pattern in, or a heel, guidelines for a wrap and turn heel on the pattern, but so you feel free to use that. If you do want to knit these socks, you can pretty much knit whatever heel you want. I know some of my test knitters were knitting Afterthought heels, so they were just doing them as the tube, and others were doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel like me. So I just threw the heel in there because I know the Fish Lips Kiss heel is a pay for pattern, and I wanted to give people an option if they didn't want to use that heel to have a heel available to them. So these are my Sylph Renna socks. I am, like I said, should be releasing the pattern probably around Monday, June 5th. So I should have everything done. I am working a little bit more this week, so I should have everything done by then. And it all posted on Ravelry, but you guys keep an eye out on Instagram because that's usually where I post things, and a lot of times I will have discounts on the patterns the first week or so once they're released. So if you're interested in these socks, I'm thinking they're only going to be about $2.50 for the pattern. So yeah, I hope that you guys like them. I liked them. They were really fun. And I've gotten some good feedback from my test knitters. Thank you, ladies, so much. So that has been pretty cool. Those are the Sylph Renna socks. So then the next pattern after those is going to be this shawl. This is a DK weight shawl. Let me see. And like I said, I have not come up with a name for it yet, but it literally used every scrap of DK from the two skeins. It's a two skein shawl. You need a main color and a contrast color. And I am knitting a second one, so I'll show you guys the second one in works in progress. But in this one, my solid or semi-solid is my main color, and my contrast color is the speckly one. And in the one I am knitting currently, my main color is the speckle version and my contrast color is the solid. So you can kind of see then the difference of when you do where you place your yarn. So it really doesn't matter in the pattern, it's just whatever you want. But I really love this, and I love that it used everything up of the skein. Now this is yarn from two different companies. The first one is House of a la Mode, and the purple, this is the purple, and it is on her House DK, which is 100% merino wool superwash. It's 115 gram, 250 yards, and so it used literally all of this. And then the second one, the green, is Long Dog Yarns, and it is on her Everyday DK. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Long Dog Yarns, Everyday DK, and the color is Through the Woods. This is 100% superwash polywarth wool, which is 255 yards and 100 grams. When I first knit this, my kind of test run, I ran out of the green, which is the Through the Woods color, at the very bottom of my edge. Now I did show you. So I did kind of like a slip stitched rib here at the bottom. And then I did an I-cord bind off. And I like the I-cord bind off. I know that it takes a really long time, and it does eat up a bit of yarn. So, but I thought that I had enough. Like, I didn't weigh it, and I don't know, honestly, how much I would have needed. But I started getting toward the end of my bind off here, and I started running out, and I knew I wasn't going to have enough. So then, you guys, I've done this before. If you guys have, watched me, I do what I need to do to make it work. I cut my green tails off where the color changes were, and then I worked them into the bind off at the bottom here. And then even that wasn't enough to get me to the very end. So I ended up having to bind off the rest of it in purple. Now that's why this is my test run shawl, and the other one that I'm doing now, I've adjusted some things a little bit. I like shortened the sections here and there so that when I get down to that edge, I should have enough. And really it takes up, like I said, every single bit of yarn. So if your gauge is not what mine is, then you will probably use less or more of the yarn depending. But I wanted a project that used it all because I really like bigger shawls. I have another finished object today that I'm going to show you guys that I really like, but it is a lot smaller. And I used the same yarn, not the same colors, but the same two company bases, and it ended up a lot smaller. And that's because it just doesn't, she doesn't have as many stitches at the end that I do on these ones. So, like I said, I'm hoping with my new the new one that I'm knitting and the adjustments that I've made, that there won't be a problem and it'll use every bit of your 2 skeins of yarn. Also, for this, I am going to be dyeing up some yarn to kind of go with it for kits. I got some DK weight yarn that is 100% superwash merino. It's 115 grams, and I think 250 yards, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And I will show you guys those in a little bit because that's what I've spent a lot of my week on, is finishing this and then dyeing color combinations to go together, so that I can offer those up to you guys for pre-orders for the pattern release, which I'm hoping. I do need to still have this test knit. I have a couple people in mind that I'm hoping will be my test knitters. So once I get that all squared away, and like I said, I knit the second one, I should have that out. I'm thinking on the safe side, middle of August, hopefully sooner, but it just depends on how quickly my test knitters get things done and everything gets kind of organized. So I still don't have a name for this, but I really, really love it. I love how it turned out. There's a little bit of lace, a little bit of texture. The stripe section, I think the stripe and lace section are my favorite. Like this part right here just like made the whole thing. Anyway, I really, really love it, and I can't wait to have my other one. And now that I've dyed up all these color combinations, I want one in each color. But I'm also thinking of, oh, I could do this as a cowl in a 2-color, like making a tube and knitting, I don't know. It's just all these ideas are in my head, and I want to do a hat, that goes with that. I always want to do like a hat that goes with it or something. But I don't usually end up following through on those ideas. I just feel like I have lots and lots and lots of stuff like in my head, and it's just bursting out. But anyway, so this is my next one. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. And it's nice and cozy. And of course, it's summertime. It's not really the right time of the year for this kind of weight. But at night, when it gets a little chilly, it's perfect. It's not, like I said, it's DK weight, so it's not super duper heavy, but it's definitely not worse, fingering weight shawl or a lace weight shawl. I just like the bigger, weight yarns. I like fingering weight shawls a lot, don't get me wrong. I just, end up with so many stitches at the end of your needles to get this big enough project that it's so much simpler to have a heavier weight shawl and have like a big project at the end that still fits really well, so without having as much knitting, it feels like. So anyway, these will be coming, so keep your eye out. I will be posting lots of stuff on Instagram about that as well. So then that's one finished object for this week. And then I also have another shawl, which I told you guys a little bit about kind of when I was talking about this one. And that is the Colorfield shawl, which I talked about last time. Sorry, fluff the hair. Gotta fluff the curly hair. I talked about it last time on the podcast about how I had bought the pattern. I'd been eyeballing it quite a bit, and I really, really liked it. And it was also DK weight shawl. So this is it. And this is also in House of a la Mode and Long Dog yarns. So let me put this one on so you guys can see what it looks like to wear it. It is definitely a little bit smaller, like the tails are not as long, and I do have some yarn left over from this one, so that was, but I still, like, even though it's not that long, it blocked out really nice, and it's definitely gorgeous. I just love the way these colors played out. It's like this, the orangey one here, I believe is Aztec. Let me see if I still have the ball bands. Yeah, here we go. There's one anyway. Okay, so House of Ala Mode, this orange rusty color, my contrast color, is Aztec. It's also the House DK, 100% superwash merino, 250 yards in 115 grams. And then the main color here, this light, it's like a light lavender with purple and orange flecks. That is Long Dog Yarns, again on her Everyday DK, which is the 100% superwash polywarth wool, and its color is Parisian Mist. And I really, really love how this turned out. So it's definitely a different colorway for me, this orange and purple combo, but I really like the way it blended together. I feel like it goes really well. It kind of has a Southwest sort of feel, and maybe that's the Aztec rusty orange color, but I really am enjoying it. I wore it yesterday. We had such a lovely weekend over Memorial Day. It was like 88 degrees here, and then on Memorial Day it was pretty cold in the morning, and then following yesterday when I was at work it was raining, so you know, looks like it might be sunny out today. So yesterday I got to wear this, which was really nice because I just finished blocking it, and I like the way this one turned out as well. So that is my second finished object. 2 shawls down. And let's see, do I want to wear this one? Oh, I'll just leave this one on. I'll leave this one on for you guys. Okay, so then I also finished my May socks, which I finished them last week, and I posted a photo on Instagram. So you guys probably saw those, but I left them, hang on, over here. So let me grab them. These are, I found my sock blockers too, by the way. So I think I talked about this last time. I had cleaned my craft room, and when I clean things up, I don't know where anything is. So I couldn't find these the last time, so I finally found them, thank goodness, because they just show socks so much better. So these are my May socks. This is a self-striping colorway that I dyed called Spring Break, and it's kind of blowing out. Oh, that's maybe a bit better. It's an 8-color stripe repeat. Although you can't see this stripe right here, you can't see it very well, but it's this bright lime green, and it's not showing up. Well, maybe that showing up a little bit better, but it's a really pretty bright lime green. But I really like these, the pastel of the stripes, the softness of them. I just really liked for May. I thought it was perfect. So, and these are on my Jazzy Tweed base, which is 85% superwash merino and 15% colored nylon neps. The toes are done in Big Alice dyes, her Dark and Stormy colorway, and that is a skein of yarn that I had from a long time ago. I think I spoke about her last time on the podcast, and she doesn't look like she's dyeing anymore. So I don't think this is going to be something you guys can get, but it's basically just this nice navy purple. And I did cuff down on these. I cast on 60 stitches this time, and I used my US size 1 Chow Goose. And the fit is a lot better. They're definitely snug around the foot, not as loose as the rainbow ones that I did. And but it's still not perfect. You know what I mean? I'm looking for perfect, and I can't figure out perfect vanilla yet. But I really, really like them, and they turned out great. And I got them done in time for all the May sock knit-alongs that are going on. So that's pretty cool. Those are my 3 finished objects this time. And you guys, for me, that's huge. having 3 is huge. Usually it's not even 1, maybe 1, but 3 is, I felt very accomplished, very accomplished. And my box of socks is coming along really, really well. I think that was my 6th pair for the year, and I am right on track to have a full 12 by the end of the year. I still need to find a box, you guys, though. I think I need to go to Craft Warehouse or something this weekend and look for a box because I haven't found a box yet that I like. Anyway, okay, moving on to works in progress, which I really only have one because I'm waiting to cast on another pair of socks for June tomorrow because I want to be able to enter them in the June sock giveaway or sock knit alongs that are going on. I do have an idea for what I'm going to be knitting, and it's definitely not going to be vanilla this time. I think I'm going to try something a little bit more intricate, but because I am working really hard on my own shawl design right now, that's what I've been solely focusing on, so I don't have any other works in progress but my current second shawl. So let me show you guys that. Oh shoot, I'm in the middle of a row. So I'm gonna have to knit a row for you guys to really, really see it. But anyway, I'll talk about it a little bit. I'll talk about the yarn. I'm on the striping section, so I'm actually pretty far along. And I'm doing this hot, like a pink and chocolate brown combination that I dyed up. And I spent last week, Monday and Tuesday, in the kitchen, which was super hot, dyeing up yarn and coming up with color combinations was so hard. So now that I have some actual recipes for those colors that I'm interested in doing for this, I've got them written down. I can recreate them. I'm actually quite excited to recreate some of them because this one, for example, I did a second time. It was one of the first skein combos that I dyed on that Monday, and like I said, it's like a rich chocolate with almost like a cinnamony chocolate because it has a little bit of like a reddish pink undertone. So like a cinnamon chocolate and this pink with brown and pink and lavender speckles. And I really liked the way it turned out, and I wanted to use it for my actual shawl. So I needed to dye up another one. And so going off of my shawl or my recipes that I'd done, I did dye up a second set, and they came out really, really close. Now, as with all hand dyed stuff, it's not always going to be perfect, so you do want to try to buy in dye lots or batches, because if you get one time from a shop or from a dyer and then months later, you ask for another one, a lot of times that one is going to be in the same like it's going to look very similar, but it may be a little lighter or a little darker, and that is just the nature of things. And I really saw that in this replication of the colors. So my first ones, let me get them here. Maybe. Oh, they're right here. So the first ones I dyed were this like cinnamony brown, and then this pink, oh, I think I just put this pink with brown and pink and lavender speckles. I don't know if that's showing up very well. So this one, and then this one. And they just go really, really well together, I think. I love brown and pink. And these were inspired by one of my test knitters. She did my Sulfrena socks in this awesome chocolate brown with these light pink heels and toes and cuffs. And they were just beautiful. And I was like, I want a shawl in those colors. Like, I want those colors. I don't really wear a lot of brown, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to pull it off. But I really, really liked the way it is. So this was my first color combo that I came up with, and I'm still not to the end of the row. It's kind of long. I might not end up showing it. So this is the second one. So I did the exact same recipe, you can see how this one turned out a bit darker than this one. Still has that same like brown tone to it, but this one turned out a bit darker. And I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is because this sat in its vinegar water solution for a few extra days. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure about all the chemistry of the dyeing process yet, but I'm wondering if it had, because it sat longer, that it soaked up more of the color than the other one. I don't know. Anybody know that kind of stuff? I don't know. If you know, pop it in the comments field below. Let me know, because it was interesting to me how different they were. I guess I could have been heavy-handed on the measuring of the dye powder, which that's possible. But anyway, I like both of them, and I'm calling them the same color, whatever they are, cinnamon chocolate or Mexican mocha or something like that. It just reminds me of that. And then the pink, here's my pink though, turned out very similar. Mine's all skeined up and everything, but so I did pretty good job, I thought, following the recipe and getting that same color combo. See? And I'm really liking the way it's knitting up. So that is pretty cool. So guys, okay, I'm halfway through. I'm just gonna have to show it to you like this because I told you I'm a slow knitter and I'm talking and I'm trying to come up with other things to talk about and it's just not working. So this is the same shawl I was wearing that was the green and the purple one, but this is in the two colors that I dyed up for it. So this pink, I'm using my speckle on the eyelet sections, and the solid brown is the texture section. So you can really see the difference in, like, when you have the dark and the light. Here, let's see if I can get them together. So there's this one with the dark and the light, and then the reverse. It's so much more, I don't know, it's like such a difference, which is really great. I love that. I love that you can do whatever you want. You can do, you know, the dark in a different spot and get a totally different look. You can make two shawls and get some, even with the same color, and get something totally different. So that is pretty cool. So that is my only work in progress. Like I said, I'm just getting on to the striping section here, and then once I get done with that, I'll have another eyelet section and then some garter stuff and then the edge. So it's coming along nicely. I should have that done next week, probably, hopefully. So anyway, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be really pretty, I think. I just don't know, like, I wear a lot of gray, and I do wear jeans, and it would go really well with jeans. It's just trying to find like a shirt to go with it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Sometimes I'll just throw it on and it may not even go, but I don't care because I want to wear it. So that is that. I have a couple of acquisitions and some dyeing stuff to talk about. My acquisitions, one of them was a gift. The other is a kind of a gift, but it's a gift for me so that I can then give it back to somebody else, if that makes sense. And then a bag and a gift for you guys. So yeah, super excited about that. So the first one is the gift that somebody gave me, but then they want me to give it back to them once I'm done knitting it. So they bought the yarn and they asked really, really nicely if I would make them, try to recreate something for them. And I said that I would. So my sister, Dana, my twin, her mother-in-law has this beret. It's like this light, airy mohair beret that she absolutely loves. I guess she wears it all the time. She wanted another one. I'm not sure if somebody knit this for her or if she bought it somewhere. There's no tag, so I'm kind of guessing somebody knit it for her. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, she wanted me to make her another one. I'm looking at it. I can totally do that. I think I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like this is maybe a folded brim. It's a lot thicker when you feel it. So I'm not sure what they did there, but I'm going to be playing around with that. And then it's really, really a short depth of the hat, you know, maybe a couple inches above the brim before you start decreasing for the crown. So it's just one of those like soft berets that, you know, you kind of lay over your hair and don't really mess with, maybe have to pin it in. But she bought some Cascade Yarns Kid Seta Noir, which is a 60% super kid mohair, 22% silk, 11% nylon, 5% polyester, and 2% metallic. It's 25-gram ball with 232 yards. The shade is 21, so no special name. It's just this really pretty blue. I have not knit with something like this before. I have not really knit like a purposely airy project like that where you use a much bigger, well, I guess I have. I mean, I knit my shrug sweater last year out of the Anzula, and that was on bigger needles, and that was definitely airy, so it's probably similar to that. So I'm going to be trying to recreate a hat for her out of this. I'm not really good. You guys know when I have to knit things for other people because it then feels like work, and I don't like work. Whatever. I just don't. So, but I did say I would do it, and I will, and I will probably end up putting it off until maybe the end of summer. I don't know. Excuse me. I feel like I need to yawn again. I'm sorry about that. So probably start it toward the end of summer so she can have it for winter. I'm hoping. But I do have some other plans, so hopefully it won't get in the way of other plans. Now, the second thing I want to show you guys is yarn that my husband bought for me. We talked about this at the last podcast too. I was eyeballing some of the BA yarn that's in my shop, and I wanted to make the Breathing Space sweater by Vera Valmaki. And so I snagged some of the yarn and I set it aside, and he bought it for me for Mother's Day. So let me get that. So I decided on the lavender, and I ended up having to get 3 skeins. And I talked about her pattern said looked like you might only need 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, but the fingering weight yarn, excuse me. Oh my gosh, guys. So sorry. The fingering weight yarn that she used had 450 yards or 438 yards. BA La Jolla is 400 yards, 115 grams. So it's definitely a bit plumper. So you need, I think that's what you would say. You need a little bit more than 2 skeins for the size I want. So I bought a 3rd one because I don't want to run out, and I wanted it to all be in the same dye lot because that's important, which I learned that. And then, but it still only looked like I needed 1 color of the contrast. So I ended up going with the Dragon Tail, which I love this so much. I love this, love this, love this. It's just beautiful, and I can't wait. So I need to swatch this up. Like I said, I've been focusing on my shawl design and getting that all taken care of, but as soon as that second one is done and the pattern is all in the works, I can really start knitting with some other stuff and doing some other projects. So this is definitely going to be one of them. So this is going to be really pretty, and I really, really like this. If anybody out there has knit the Breathing Space sweater, I would really love to know what you guys thought of it. If you enjoyed it, if you felt like there was any, issues with it. I'm going to be looking on the Ravelry page too because I really love that. I don't know if everybody knows that, but or does that, but I like to look at the projects that other people made. I like to see how they turned out. Also, any notes that they might have had. I read through things, especially if people made modifications or maybe if they didn't like something, what they decided to do differently. I love it that people put that information out there. I don't always do that kind of stuff on mine. I'm not super witty in text, so I can't always think of like great things to say, but except for like, oh, I liked it. It was great and blah. But anyway, so I love it that other people do that and that other people have way more details on their pattern pages than I do. That's very helpful. So if you're one of those people, thank you so much for doing that kind of stuff because it does. It helps us all out. It's really great. So that's my that's my acquisition and my next sort of big sweater project that I am going to be casting on here soon, hopefully. Cross your fingers. So the next thing I got, you guys, I ordered a bag from Stitch and You. I have heard Jenny of the Lucky Jenny Knits podcast talk about these bags all the time. She just raves about them. She loves them. So I wanted one, and I've been following her on Instagram, and she had this really, really cute sheep pattern available, which I love that because right off the bat, like you don't really see, like if it's back here, like I didn't really see that it was sheep, and then it was like, I did a double take. Oh, those are sheep. They're so cute. So I really enjoyed that and came with this little sheep stitch marker, which now I think I have like 5 or 6 of these. But she, Ryan is her name, and the company is Stitch and You. Inside, she sent me some tea, which I have downstairs. I'm going to drink, and it comes with this little lavender sachet, which I just love lavender. I don't know if, what you guys think of it, but I love having the lavender in my bags when I have a knitting project because then I pull out the knitting and it smells so, so good. So the inside has her logo in there that she sewed in, and it's just this really great like orange geometric shape. Has this nice stiff interfacing, so it stands up really well. And this one, I'm not sure what size this is. It might be the same size. It might be a medium size project bag. It's definitely more appropriate for smaller projects like socks. So this would be perfect for my socks or a lace type project. I did have my shawl in there, but because it's a DK weight shawl, it started to get kind of big and a little bit bulky for that space. But really, really cute bags, and she sent it lickety split. It was great. Thank you, Ryan, so much. And you guys, she contacted me right after, and she asked if she could send a bag for you guys for a giveaway as well. And I was really, really touched, Ryan. I just thought that was amazing that you were willing to share your lovely goodies with my viewers. So you guys have a bag also. I'm going to leave it in the packaging, but this is the bag she sent. It is these cups of tea and cakes, and then she put some tea in here. There is a little teapot stitch marker, which you can't really see because her little note that she enclosed for me is in there, but then her logo is on the outside. And then there's also a lavender sachet in there as well. So that is going to be a giveaway prize. I don't have anything yet going on for giving it away. So I'm going to have to come up with that. I also have the Creative Obsession bag. So I'm thinking for 600 subscribers, I'm going to kind of tuck this away for 600 subscribers and do both the Creative Obsession bag and this bag as a giveaway for 2 different people. So that's so thank you so much, Ryan. They're beautiful, beautiful bags. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I was just tickled to have you offer that for all of our viewers. So thank you so much. So that's all I have for acquisitions today, but I do want to talk to you guys about some new yarn. So I talked a little bit about the dyeing I want to do, not for this shawl. Let me take this one off because, you know, now that I'm going to be talking about my shawl design, I want to put my shawl back on. So I came up with a bunch of different colorways, and I'm going to get them up on the website for pre-orders. I don't have names for all the colors yet, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a sneak peek. So you saw this one, this combo, and the thing I'm going to try to do is have set combos, as well as if you don't like the way I paired colors, I'm going to try to set up one where you can pair your own colors or just individually order skeins if you want. But these will be specific pre-orders for the release of the shawl. But then I will also have dyed to order colors on available as well for individual purchase if you want, or if you want to come up with your own 2-color combination that you like. So this is one that I came up with, and like I said, it's like the pink has these bits of brown and pink and lavender kind of speckled in there. So that's one. Let's see. Ooh, I really like this one. So this was I was kind of inspired by these colors, and so I was trying to come up with something kind of like it. So I came up with this purple, which I really, really love, this purple as a solid. And then this to go with it, which I love. This one turned out gorgeous. It's like a mermaid tail. That's probably what I'm going to be calling it. So it's like speckled and different hues of pink and purple kind of worked into this sea green. So, so pretty. And the two together I just thought were really pretty. So it's not exactly the same tones as this one, but this was my attempt, recreation attempt, if you will. And then I have, let's see, this one, getting a little wild. So this gray, which is super wild, right? Gray is wild. It's this nice like blue undertone, dark gray, but then this speckle, gosh, it's not really showing up. There it is. With pink and blues kind of speckled all over a white base. Love that. And these are so squishy, you guys. They're just amazing. This yarn is super amazing. So then, oh, I have, this is like camo Barbie is what I think of when I see this one. So it might have that name. So it's like this green camouflage sort of khaki, but with a blue hue to it. And then, oh, the pink is washing out so bad. This pink with lots of speckles of the green, a little bit of olive, hot pink. I really like the way this one turned out. It was a little tricky. Both of these colors were a little tricky. Took some tries to get what I wanted, but I really liked the way those two turned out. Then I have this bright sunshine color, so bright yellow, and then this sort of yellow and pink and orange, sort of speckly to go with. But then I have another one that might really go well with the yellow too. So I also have this like gray and black speckle that I thought went really well with the yellow. Be kind of fun. But then I paired a light pink, or well, it's not really like a light pink. That's the pink. I paired a pink with the gray speckle. Oh, can you see that? And then I have a blue, gosh, sorry, it looks like, I don't know if it's gonna turn out this washed or bright on here, but this is like a pool green, pool greeny blue. And then this is a blue kind of speckle on white to go with it. And then this was my attempt at recreating these colors. I was just inspired by these colors. I really liked them. So there's this like ginger color, and then this purple with ginger specks and purple flecks throughout. See, oh, see, there we go. You can see the bits in there. And then the very last one is kind of another wild one. This is black, and then sort of a toxic lime green and hot pink and black speckle. And I thought with the black, that'd be really fun. Or, you know, even with like a hot pink or something, it'd be really fun too. So those are some options that I did for the kits. I haven't got them up on the website yet. I will be putting them up soon. I just wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek. And let me know what you think. I would love to hear. I would love to hear if you've got suggestions for 2 colors or something that you'd like to see. Let me know. I'm going to be trying some more stuff. So I also did a couple new self-striping colorways too. So let me show you those. I have to go over here and grab them. These ones are my self-striping socks that I've been doing. And I have done these up on the rock and roll sock base, which is the sparkle base. So this first one is called Andromeda, and it is a black and green and purple and navy 4-color stripe. And this rock and roll base is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% silver stellina. So that's called Andromeda. And then I did another football colorway, and I'm going to be working on trying to get more football colorways up. I did this color because this is my husband's favorite team. I've got the 12th man for my team, the Seahawks, and then my husband's favorite team is the Bears. So this is called Midway Monsters, and it's a 3-color stripe with the navy and the orange and then the speckle navy orange. And this is also on my rock and roll sock, which is the sparkle base. So that's that one. Those are the 2 new self-striping colorways that I have available in the shop. So anyway, guys, that's kind of it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you'll come back and watch next time, and follow me here on YouTube, or follow me on Instagram, and join the Ravelry group. Check out the website. I'll be sure to be posting lots of updates on the pattern on my Instagram feed, so definitely follow me over there. And have a great rest of your week, everyone. I hope you enjoy it. I hope there's sun where you are, and you're having a good hump day. Bye.